For the predictions, Selfie, who do you think will get this dub here?
Well, I think we already saw it yesterday. I'm not going to really change my vote in that regard. I still think that University of Brussels is going to win, despite PooL just really stepping up all of a sudden yesterday. Sure, that's going to play a factor. I think therefore it's maybe going to be closer, like looking at like a 4-2, 4-3 series scoreline. But I still feel like the University of Brussels is just better individually at that level where they can outclass the coherence of the side from UCLL.
I can definitely see where you're coming from, and I do agree with you on the 4-2 or 4-3 ending. But I do think that in the end UCLL will take it, just because I don't know, they seem a lot more confident. And as we saw yesterday, PooL was pretty good. And he actually played very well. So I'm pretty sure that they can actually get this. And also, what I feel like might be happening to ULB or University of Brussels is some timing. You know, it was difficult for them to schedule, meaning they probably can't play a lot. So they might not have played as much in the past week or prepared as much in the last week as UCLL did. So I do think that UCLL will actually take this series.
Fair enough. One thing that I, of course, have is that Slyex and Seaz have played a lot in the past together as well. Like last year in the URC, they also played in the University of Brussels because they were the one that in the end won it and were able to move on to play in the ERC. I think their duo between Slyex and Seaz is definitely going to be able to carry it. Yesterday we only had Slyex, we didn't have Seaz. So I think that small difference could have also been why that game felt so awkward from the side from Brussels.
That might be true, but let's see. Because I'm pretty sure the players are about ready, so we can actually get into this game, and see how this match actually develops, and we'll see who actually ends up taking this entire series.
It's going to be pretty interesting. Both teams, of course, joining the field as we speak. But yeah, something that you're going to look forward to on the side from UCLL, since that you've said that is the team that you want to win. Is there somebody specific that you're looking forward to?
Not really. I mean, PooL has the carry in his name now, so that might have the confidence in him. You know, it might be him who actually steps up and actually is the carry. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I feel like PooL might be a very good player in this team. Maybe A6ent will step up as well because he has those mechanics. He knows how to control the ball. So yeah, well, I guess we'll have to see.
Well, one thing that is for sure is that University of Brussels is definitely bringing the heat. They're playing way more speedy than yesterday, and maybe it's going to play in their favor, as we now see double commit from Darren, but Slyex still able to continue. Ball to the backboard is Guilty just a little bit too late as Mod is able to clear to the side, but Guilty keeps that pressure alive. Ball into the midfield, but A6ent is there now. Moss with the extension. A little bit of a short like follow-up from the side from UCL, of course, brings a lot of pressure, able for them to keep going. Here, PooL gets the reset. Doesn't really go far with it, because Seaz is right there. He knows what to do with it. He sees that flip reset is definitely the only option. And that is one thing about the individual prowess that I was talking about, that University of Brussels is just able to read through those things.
Yeah, true. I feel like they are very aware in their gameplay. I don't really know how to describe it, but they are an adaptable team. I feel like they can learn from their opponents throughout the series as well and feel them out a bit, and kind of, you know, get to see where the individual mistakes are from their opponents, and then kind of, you know, adapt to that. For example, you said with the flip reset or the mechanical, or like whatever they do, or whiff, and actually it goes in here. Yeah, I don't quite know what happened. I guess Moss had an unfortunate touch to the side, and Slyex was there to hit it in.
Yeah, that's a speed difference that I'm talking about. Like yesterday, we saw them playing slower. Of course, that 2v3 happened pretty early on, so I don't think they really hit their stride. But immediately with Seaz being there, you can feel that the entire team from the University of Brussels is able to move way quicker, find each other way better. And that's also how they got that initial touch right here. Slyex up, gets it past PooL. Moss on the backboard, doesn't really get the touch he needs. Here now Seaz Tries to take control, still has 40 boost. What can he do with it? He tries to go into the corner, pass into midfield, but Guilty left it way too early. Could have been a prime opportunity for University of Brussels to get the second one.
Yeah, we do see a lot of pressure now. They keep building it up. One goal is not enough. It's still early on in the game. We're only about halfway in. They do want that second one as Slyex starts to go for a shot here. But I do think that UCLL is holding the defense strong. They're doing their job, and they're actually going into attack now. And PooL actually scores here. So this is a pretty even match.
Yeah, definitely at this moment it's pretty even right there. Just that pass from A6ent, not really hitting that corner, made it that the ball was able to come a little bit more midfield. And PooL, close enough, didn't back off immediately, therefore he was able to score it. But the side from the University of Brussels, that defense is a little bit poor. I think they're still struggling. Of course, like you said, not being able to play that much together, of course, brings some awkwardness in defense. Definitely if you have to communicate well, you have to be able to rely on each other. And here it is just Slyex trying to get that ball into the midfield. Ball gets one touch. Right now, nothing from the side from UCLL as Moss is able to bring it forwards though. Slyex gets a high touch, has awkward plays, not all too much boost, able to get it past one. Beautiful block into the midfield. Seaz is up, tries to get it from the corner, but Moss is waiting right there. That is a beautiful follow-up, making sure that they can catch the ball to force a 50 in their favor, and that's something smart that UCLL is definitely doing.
Yeah, that is true. Moss is now on 0 boost, can't really get this ball out as A6ent tries to get it out now. It's a bit awkward. The pressure is back on UCLL right now, but they are managing, and they are trying to get it out, trying to actually get more pressure as a whiff in defense happens. A6ent cannot get the save. Seaz can actually capitalize on that mistake in defense. It appears that Moss has actually whiffed the ball, which made it very easy for Seaz.
Yeah, but you say easy, but it wasn't that easy. If you saw from the hit, he didn't get a hit with the most power on it, so that definitely also shows that he was like overestimating the bounce a little bit. So I think that factor that you're talking about, they don't play too much together, so I don't think Seaz was expecting that. Overall though, the thing that Seaz really brings to the table compared to the sub is that he's sometimes waiting as third man, reads what the Guilty and Slyex are going to do and tries and act upon it.
That is true. He usually tries to play around his team. He can actually fill in a lot of roles in this team. He can be that carry, he can be a third man. He can basically do whatever, which makes his team pretty strong. Especially if you have Slyex, who could also fill in that mechanical role, that attacker scoring role. This team is looking pretty good as we get into the final minute of this game. We see that UCLL is trying to get something, trying to get as much pressure as possible, because they, of course, don't want this to go to a low count. As it actually goes in, Moss can actually get this ball in.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate here from the side from University of Brussels. They're pushing the ball in that corner. That's like a little bit of a tight spot where the ball is most likely to try and outplay yourself. But yeah, 30 seconds or 33 seconds on the clock, 2-2. So equal scoreline in this last 30 seconds. I wonder if it's going to be closed out in regular time. I really doubt it. But right there, Guilty a little bit too close. If he was more center, he would have definitely been able to finish it off. But what a pass! No, Slyex, no!
Slyex missing that shot there. I don't really know what happened. Did he not have enough boost? Did he angle his car incorrectly? I don't quite know. But we have Guilty again. Moss respawning, so he can collect that ball. Maybe one last attack here before we go into overtime. This is getting kind of awkward. A6ent does keep it up, so I should go for something, but we have an overtime.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward there. Definitely a lot of chances from the University of Brussels that go uncapitalized off. But here's Slyex immediately applying pressure. Seaz trying to get the ball into the midfield. Guilty is right there, blocked away from A6ent. A6ent now able to clear to midfield. PooL misses the ball in the end. So now it's up to Slyex. Slyex tries to take its time. Puts the ball to the backboard. Slyex follows up.
Save.
But Moss with the squishy save. Definitely able to pick that one up. But the pressure is still on. UCLL does not get any breathing room in defense whatsoever. But sometimes you have these things.
Sometimes it does get a little awkward in defense, but they did manage to recover from it. As I say that, both players missing the ball. And it does seem like UCLL is kind of controlling this OT. They have more pressure. and they do seem to find defense a little more easier. They do find those clears a lot faster than the University of Brussels, and it feels less awkward as well.
Yeah, but right now, you definitely see the fact that UCLL is trying to push it, trying to get that goal in. But right there, there's Slyex on the goal line, able to save it. Now, Moss trying to get it into the center, but Seaz is there, tries to take control. Beautiful flick, sadly enough, not past ball. There's an opportunity, Slyex has to dive, is able to touch the ball to the sidelines. It was so close right there to try and get that first game. Of course, UCLL wants it as much as they do. Right now, PooL potentially pinched, but Seaz was calm on the ground, was able to get that clear. But it is, like you said, UCLL that is really pushing towards that goal right now.
Yeah, they do. They are really hungry for this goal right now as PooL actually gets a beautiful goal off the ceiling. A ceiling double tap. Past Guilty, past the entire defense. He didn't go up the ceiling, never mind. Just a double tap, which is still a very nice shot.
Well, very great start, of course. I think there will be like a small technical issue right now. The guys from the site from the University of Brussels said at the start that they wanted a remake because the server was like a little bit shaky. But we'll see. I mean, they're still debating whether or not they have to. But this game was pretty close. The only thing that I can really say is that Slyex and Guilty, mainly Guilty, had a lot of opportunities, but were never really able to capitalize on them because they were just a little bit too close. They tried to play too quick in offense, not spacing themselves too much to the middle side, or the other side rather, to why they were too close and not able to follow up on those very nice clears on to the other side of the field.
Yeah, and I do think their defense, I don't know, it looks like maybe communication mistakes, maybe some problems in the rotation, but they do seem a little awkward and sometimes just whiffing the ball or like not reading bounces properly. And it might affect how this game turns out because it looks like the offense of UCLL is pretty strong right now and the defense is looking a little wonky on the side of Brussels.
Well, defense on both sides is definitely questionable though. Like, there is too many opportunities from the side from Brussels to say that the defense from UCLL is solid, so to say. But right now, that first moment of the second game, it is definitely Brussels that wants to get ahead. Slyex here does not get the touch he needs, but Seaz able to set that ball to the backboard. Guilty outplay by A6ent. A6ent with the flick down to midfield. Seaz jumping a little bit prematurely, but now in the end has to get that ball cleared. Now PooL gets it over Guilty. Guilty definitely not playing the best game he's ever had.
No, it looks like Guilty, especially in last match as well. It didn't really talk about that, but I didn't really see much of him. It looks like he was kind of playing an invisible match. He wasn't really doing much or like being very present in the play. And as we see here again, a slight miss up by Guilty as well, which actually leads to a goal.
Uh-oh. But right there, at least Slyex is back in the back line. I still believe that Guilty is going to come through. Maybe it's like that player. He didn't have any warm-up, and the more warm-up he gets, the better he's going to be able to play. I really hope so for him at least. But here, pass. Seaz, pass 2. Tries to get the ball past Moss, not able to, but Slyex is still there. Shot a little bit too wide as PooL launches it all the way to the other side of the field. Guilty now has time. Tries to go for control, gets it past Moss, but not able to get it past PooL. The pressure is on from UCLL. They make sure that the University of Brussels can't escape their defense or their own half without any pressure from the side from UCLL.
Yeah, they are having a lot of trouble with the pressure right now as they actually break through and score. Caster skirts maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Moss didn't expect that touch. He was up a little too far, which made it very easy for Slyex, and he could just roll that ball in.
I mean, it was a little bit mix of a lot of things. We also saw that like Moss right there was just waiting. He tried to read where the ball was going to go. At the end, was reversing, so that's definitely not the thing that you want to go for. But right now, Moss able to send that ball all the way to the other side. With a 1-1 scoreline, this is definitely still all to play for. As we see Guilty getting that ball to the other side, trying to challenge PooL. PooL stays calm, takes his under one. Still has the ball in control, but Slyex is there in defense. Beautiful wall control as well. Able to get it past Moss. Now A6ent there. Does not get the touch he wants. Moss up. Guilty. Blocked by PooL. A6ent trying to get that ball on target, but Slyex is able to clear it down to the middle line. But he has to be careful because UCLL is definitely ready there. Double commit with Guilty once more. It is really not helping Guilty right now if Slyex and Seaz is constantly cutting in front of the balls that he needs to go for. He needs to be able to pick up and play his own pace, because otherwise he might as well just disappear in this entire game, which would be sad.
Yeah, it's just, like I said before, Guilty looks a little invisible in this game. It looks like it's just a two-man show on their team. Maybe there's not enough trust. Maybe it's a communication error or just rotation in general. But I feel like this might become a really big problem if they don't fix this soon.
It can definitely be an issue right there. Seaz gets bumped. Now has to challenge that ball. Is able to take it from PooL, but Agent sends it forward. Slyex there. Tries to get a pass down to Seaz. Not far enough, but Seaz is able to get to the touch with the pre-flip. Now Slyex, 50. Gets a weird pinch with Seaz to send it to the other side of the field. Guilty shows like he's going to go for it. In the end, fakes it. Leaves it for Seaz and Slyex to try and deal with it. As Moss does not get the touch he needs. Oh, that would have been a beautiful opportunity, but literal goal line save there from PooL to get it out.
Yeah, that was a really clutch save by PooL there. Really nice save, actually. And now he's actually going for a double tap. He can't really connect. Or connect on the shot, rather. But now Agent could maybe try something. Doesn't really work. Moss now has to get this ball out. Goes to PooL. PooL going for a flip reset. Kinda gets a dunk. Maybe he can get it middle again. Does not have the boost for it, but Agent has a shot, and he can actually score.
I think the thing that we need to see from the side from the University of Brussels in order to step up their gameplay, make sure that they can win this series, is allow Guilty to push a ball. At the moment Guilty is done pushing that ball, he just has to try and go for a demo. Because right now, it is not like the defense from the side from UCLL is all too solid. If you're able to eliminate one person, you're definitely going to get a lot of opportunities. For example, if you're able to demo PooL, that already feels to me that it would be like a great improvement. We saw like some beautiful goal line saves from PooL. If he would be eliminated, or if they would just stick behind their ball, because that's really something they have to do. They just give away the ball to UCLL for nothing sometimes. But here, Slyex, potential double tap. Sadly enough, not able to get into midfield, as it's now Slyex into the center again. Guilty right there. A little bit awkward. Still a 60 boost. Tries to take this ball under control, but it assists immediately with a high ball. Balls down to Slyex. Oh, sadly enough, no connection, because that was looking like a back pass to Seaz, and that would have been great.
Yeah, they are looking for these opportunities. It looks like they're getting a little more pressure on now. But it doesn't really work. It's just not good enough, as Seaz actually goes for a nice play here, but fails. Maybe Slyex or Guilty can get this ball middle. But it feels like they're really trying, but they just can't connect those last, like, essential touches. That last pass midfield or that last touch near the goal, as that actually almost goes in. 5 seconds left. It has to happen now.
Well, it has to happen now if they want to win game 2. There's still plenty of games, but here we have Slyex on the dribble, still in control. Moss able to block it immediately. Seaz doesn't have the boost, but the ball bounces up. There's still another chance as the ball goes into midfield. Slyex, oh, he faked Guilty there. If Guilty knew earlier, he would definitely be able to get that ball, catch it, and then try and carry it to the other side. But this is another win for the side from UCLL Gaming. Really showing up strong. But it is PooL coming up surprisingly strong again, like you said yesterday.
Yeah, he does really deserve that the carry tag in his name right now. He does feel like that carry on UCLL's team. They do really, like, he plays his own game. He goes for those double taps, or he tries to go for a flip reset. He does create that space, go for those like crazy mechanical plays, and it does seem to work. Not only can he actually score because of it, but he can also give Agent opportunities, give Moss opportunities by creating that space, by going up for an aerial play or beating some opponents in the air, as we saw with the second goal. And it does feel like UCLL is kind of dominating in offense this game.
Yeah, but something else worth noting is that we say that UCLL is dominating, but if we talk about ball possession pressure, it is really all in favor from the side from University of Brussels. The only thing they really need to do, and that's of course that little bit of field domination. The moment that you're behind that ball, stick behind that ball. Don't let it go without for anything. Because I feel like they're just giving it to UCLL. Okay, I don't have boost anymore, so I can't stick behind that ball. I can't keep going. And that is really what you need to do. You need to be able to stick behind that ball, force the other team to send one player to get that ball and just don't give anything for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe you know, maybe they can turn it around in this game. Maybe they can actually get that feeling back. Maybe they can actually find a way to break through and create those opportunities, get those goals in. As we see a nice pinch happening on the side of UCLL Gaming. But Slyex can actually go up, almost beats out PooL. Seaz now has a slight problem in defense as he can't get those cleared. And it is PooL who gets it going.
Yeah, definitely a beautiful play here from PooL. Keeps it simple, makes sure that he can use his whip at the last moment to get that ball into the net. And again, this is the thing that we were talking about. University of Brussels, a little bit all over the place in defense, not able to rely on each other. It is really coming to hurt them. But here, beautiful placement from Slyex.
They actually take it back instantly, immediately answering on that goal. Seaz with a nice speed, and Slyex is just a nice placement in the bottom left. That was a good shot and a nice play.
Beautiful play to tie it up. Only 33 seconds has passed in this game 3. But it is very important right now for the University of Brussels, like you said, to build momentum. Do they want to win it? Here's Slyex, sticks underneath the ball, doesn't pass towards Guilty. A poor decision in my opinion, but hey, definitely has a reason for it. But right now, Guilty right underneath the ball should just let this go for Seaz immediately. I really feel like Guilty is not allowed to do anything, therefore tries to push himself into awkward positions. He should just leave those balls, get himself in a good position, and then think he's going to pop off.
Yeah, it feels like he is just never at the right place at the right time. He never really gets like he could hit. Now he's alone in defense. Actually manages to defend really well. But yeah, it's still playing in an invisible game. It might be a tactic, but if it is, it's not really working out. They need to switch it back up and play more as a team instead of just giving Slyex and Seaz a opportunity. But I guess this works with a nice play from the both of them without Guilty, actually.
Yeah, but here you see the thing that we were talking about right there. Slyex, sure he didn't have another boost, but just that pressing feeling for the defenders that there would be one person going to demo you, it's just enough to take it out. And that's definitely what made it easier for Seaz to play that. But still, that placement was incredible. Here's Slyex, gets the ball forward. Seaz once again plays it a little bit too quick. Slyex trying to get that follow-up in the end of this ball. Seaz cutting across, not allowing Guilty to go for that ball. Guilty still waiting, but it is in the end Seaz that goes for control in his own quarter. Tries to go to the other side of the field, sees PooL up immediately. PooL gets one touch, doesn't get the second. Seaz gets it over one. Must with a shot from long range, but Guilty is there in defense. And again, sure you're saying that he's playing an invisible game, but I really feel like he is doing a lot of work. It might not be as visible. He's making good, rational decisions. Like you said, that one moment that he was in defense alone, he knew that he had to wait. Don't challenge immediately, because that moment that you're all playing.
That is true. He does seem to be getting more into the game, getting, you know, better rotation, maybe better decisions. Invisible or not, he is still very important to the team, obviously. But it does feel like he has more potential in this game and this entire series.
Yeah, and something very micro, or like something that you would not see if you're just watching at this game and think like, huh, why are they talking about him like that? The thing that he's doing right now that is creating so much pressure is the fact that he's taking boost from the opponents. Every time he goes up, sure, he might not get the challenge, he might not get a touch on the ball, but if he's already near a corner boost from the side from UCLL, he makes sure to take it. As right now it is Seaz trying to get that ball into the center. In the end, it goes to PooL. Slyex now with control, only 70 boost in the tank, takes it past one, ball drops down. Guilty does not get the touch he needs. Seaz is quick though, and it is Guilty that gets a beautiful control. Now there's a lot of time. What are they going to do with it? Here we have Guilty. Slyex,
double committing.
Slyex, please, come on.
That was an unfortunate double commit. I don't know if it was Slyex just not thinking Guilty would keep going, or a miscommunication, or just, you know, no trust for Slyex or for Guilty there. But that was really unfortunate. That could have been a really nice play. They had a lot of space and time, but that's all gone now.
Oh, gone, but PooL is still there. Gets a beautiful touch to the backboard. Agent not able to get it on target, as now it is Slyex and Seaz fighting each other's way a little bit. Now Seaz to the side. Guilty right behind them. Definitely not the right position. You want to at least have that little bit of space, but Guilty able to try and get a pass down to Slyex. Slyex doesn't have the boost, doesn't continue. As it's now A6ent down to PooL. PooL on target!
What a shot. That was a really nice shot by PooL there. A good pass by A6ent here, pops it up, and PooL off the sidewalk and flip into that. Beautiful placement, bottom right corner, and the defender can't get it.
Well, 2-2. I mean, last game, we literally came to the same scoreline with 33 seconds to go. Now we have 47 seconds to go. Will we see this closing out in regular time? That is definitely something that we have to look forward to. But now it is a little bit awkward there. University of Brussels bumping each other. Seaz makes the ball go low. Moss gets the ball to the center. Guilty taking his time. Beautiful pass upfield, but Seaz does not have the boost in the end. It is PooL hunting here. Oh, touch to the side from Slyex. Slyex.
Oh, Slyex gets it past.
That's the only one. Gets a little bit of an awkward touch. Slyex back to the midfield. Can he do it?
It actually goes in.
No.
Oh, that is very unfortunate there in the defense of UCLL Gaming. Slyex gets this touch, and both Moss and A6ent go for this ball. And end up actually on-goaling it.
See, and that is what I mean. You said that the University of Brussels, that defense was looking a little bit shaky, but UCLL definitely has the same issues. Here we have Slyex, another shot, and no, they take the 4-2. This is definitely what University of Brussels need right now. They need something to build that momentum, and they're definitely getting it.
Yeah, this is definitely really good for them right now. Not only do they get this game, I think, you know, there might be a slight possibility, but let's just say that there isn't. And this is really good. 2 goals in the last 30 seconds builds up a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence as well to go into that next game.
Well, this is definitely a good thing for University of Brussels. They needed that momentum. And sure, Guilty, he's still at the bottom at 183 points, but he's above Moss in terms of points right now. He said it as well. In terms of shots, ball possession, pressure, it is definitely all on University of Brussels, but it is just a little bit unfortunate that they sometimes let it go. And in this game, it was definitely way better. We also saw those combinations between Seaz and Slyex. They definitely came through, made it possible. And then that hat-trick from Slyex, like literally last moment, all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, he really stepped up in the last moment. He knew what to do. He knew he could get those goals, even though one of them was an own goal, which is very unfortunate from the side of UCLL. But he ended up making another goal right at the end as well, which was a really well-placed shot. So it might not have even mattered if they own goaled or not. But as we go into the next game now, I feel like it might have turned the other way. It might have turned that there's more momentum now for the University of Brussels. But I guess we'll have to see how this game goes.
Yeah, they definitely still have to be careful though. You don't want to push too hard. Give easy opportunities. Oh, but Guilty! He's finally being allowed to play with the team. Got a beautiful pass there from Seaz. Sadly enough, that pre-jump didn't work out in their favor, but that has to fuel their confidence. Right now we see it as well. Slyex in that corner. Guilty able to take over. Now Seaz, shot low. It goes in. Beautiful.
Yeah, again, really nice placement by Seaz here. Shoots it bottom right. Nobody from the side of UCLL able to defend that. Goes right in between Moss and I think it was A6ent. And they just can't reach it.
Yeah, definitely. It was great shot from Seaz. Like, that placement just made it so much harder for defense. Right now, Seaz up in the air. Does not have the flip stamp, but he almost didn't need it. That would have been another placement. That was just incredible. It kind of reminds me of that one play. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about, but like, you have that flip reset fake from apparently Jack to where he just catches the ball. On that catch, makes that ball launch forward, and then just styles on the entire team from Renault Vitality. Literally got the same feelings from that play from Seaz.
Yeah, I've not seen that play. I should look it up after this game or after this series. But I do know what you mean. That flip reset fake is really effective because most of these players are high ranked in this game, and they are expecting people to hit those resets. So faking it might actually really throw off the defense, which did end up happening. Unfortunately, though, he did not get that goal.
Right here, Moss tries to go high, gets that ball to the back ball, but Guilty is right there. Does center it, makes it awkward for the rest of his team, but Slyex able to launch it all the way to the other side. A6ent and Moss pre-jumping. Waste of boost from the side from UCLL. This can be at their disadvantage, but Moss is able to take it to the midfield. Gets a bump right there, creates a little bit of time. But Guilty is on it. He's not letting that ball go, and that is the thing that we said. They have to stick to that ball in order to make sure that UCLL has to commit at least one person to take that ball away.
And exactly, here is now going for another shot, and it actually goes in again. Really nice placement yet again by Seaz, and a very nice pass by Slyex as well.
This is what they needed. They need those goals. Quick goals, first goals, 2-0 lead, all in favor from the University of Bristol because they need it right now. They need to reel it in. It is a best of 7. UCLL already got 2 games, they got 1. If they can tie it up right here, it definitely shows. And it definitely also shows why we were saying, yeah, scorelines is probably going to look somewhere in the lines of 4-2, 4-3. Because at this moment, it is really going towards that territory as Slyex. No, that would have been beautiful.
What a dunk by Slyex. Unfortunately, not able to connect and actually get that goal as it goes on the crossbar. But now we see the pressure back on their half as Moss can actually get a play on this. Maybe pass to PooL, tries to get to him. A6ent now doing the same. PooL maybe back. A6ent with a shot that goes wide. Over nice save by Guilty as well. I don't know if it would have gone in. Probably not. But still, though, really good attempt by UCLL. And it looks like they're trying to get back in this game and trying to at least find 1 goal now to get back.
Yeah, they're a little bit all over the place, not able to find each other in that midfield box is definitely pretty important if you want to score. But scoring is what Slyex does right now. And this is just a great start. Like right here, you see Slyex getting another opportunity set up by Guilty, and he's really being engulfed in that team right now. Definitely what we needed to see and what we love to see from the side from ULB.
Yeah, this is really different from the first 2 games. They really switched it back up. They really got into the series, and it shows. They play a lot better now. They play more efficient. They do seem to get a lot more offensive pressure, and also, you know, obviously get more goals. As we say that, they get another one. Seaz with a long shot. Moss not able to get back in time.
I think it's time that we have to throw a little bit of that analysis again. Like right now, we did a little bit of analysis, like what can ULB do to improve, right? And now we do have to do the same thing with UCLL. Right there, we see they're just pushing up a little bit too far, getting too close to that ball as like last person there, completely past that mid line. Also, alternating too quickly between that first and second makes it pretty aggressive. Your third is always against 2 people, and at that point it's going to become pretty easy from the side from ULB to get those goals in. And Guilty gets his chance right here as well. Now it is Moss. Has to try and get the clear. Has to just realize that he has to take time, because rushing against ULB, who's literally picking up that speed and dictating the speed of the game, that is the worst thing that you can do, because then you're going to overpace yourself.
And I feel like a 4-0 lead now is kind of game defining. I feel like it's already over for this game. So if I was UCLL, I would try to just forget this happened or move on from this game now. Try to get at least 1 or 2 more goals maybe in this game, just to build up momentum and try to get back into that game for game 5. Because if they're going to be playing like this, as we can see, it's not going to work.
Yeah, but this is the thing that you're saying, like they want goals, but ideally if you want to build momentum, you don't only want goals. If you only build momentum on goals, you're going to just fall back into that same pattern as in this game, where you're just going to be really hardly punished on every mistake that you make in defense, which is literally happening right now. ULB is definitely putting on that pressure, making sure that it is hard for UCLL to get back into that game, because they just try to do too much solo. The moment that they stop doing all that much solo plays, it's just going to come all together. They need to get those passes going, allow themselves to just stay behind the ball, get a dribble, get flicks in, and then you're going to be able to take out 1 player at a time from the side from ULB.
Yeah, for sure. But also, if you look at how ULB has kind of transitioned throughout this series, we can definitely see that their speed is higher, or at least right now. their speed is a lot higher than UCLL's speed. So it will be pretty hard to actually, find a way to deal with that. Maybe control more in defense, wait for them to rush at you, try to get low 50s and play out opponents one by one, like you said, with passing as well. But I don't know. It feels like a really tough task for UCLL right now. But I do think they have the possibility to get the win in this series because we are only tied up right now. But it is getting more and more difficult because of the momentum that ULB is now building, and it feels like they're also getting more warmed up individually. So yeah, I'm excited to see what next game will bring. But I do hope that UCLA will get a fighting chance or at least get back into the game.
I mean, and one thing that we have to note, like if we look at the statistics, like our lovely London producer was able to deliver us with like pretty good insights. You see, 58% ball possession for the side from ULB. That just gives them that much pressure. But they only have 45% pressure. I don't know how he really made that calculation, but if you look at field domination, that is the main thing that we want to look at. 77% field domination just shows that UCLL is just being pushed into their own half the entire time. And that is really the thing that is making this difference right now. UCLL gets their escape for a second, they get one opportunity to score, and then they immediately have to defend again. And that is the thing that's throwing them off. They have to make sure that their rotations are solid, get one person to be center, and that they can keep going that way.
Yeah, for sure, because if they do play like this, and if it goes on like we saw in last game, it feels like they get a one opportunity, then get pushed back and get like 3 or 4 opportunities from ULB pushed in their defense and having that pressure in there. So it feels like they constantly have just less moments to actually score. And if you're not efficient in offense as well, and you don't finish those chances off, it's not going to be possible to actually win the series or win a game.
Well, it might not be possible, but there's still 4 minutes and 30 seconds in this game 5. Pretty important game if you ask me, because this can put the first team on match point. As it is PooL trying to reach to the other side. No more carry in the name. I don't think he feels like he lives up to it anymore. As we now have Agent trying to get that ball forward, but Slyex is right there. He's slowing it down. He's taking control. And this is just also more dangerous from the side from UCLL if we see ULB even evolving into that state.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're control. Oh my god. A good double tap, a low double tap on the back wall here by PooL. A really nice shot here, but what I was about to say was actually that UCLA was controlling the offense in this game, having more pressure on ULB right now. And yeah, it does seem to work out because they are up by 1 goal now.
Well, I love the comment from Slyex though. I regret the bait at the start now. I think you should just take this as serious as possible, not even go for any bait. As we see Guilty. Guilty! That would have been crazy if he was able to double tap that, but just the fact that he was allowed to take it to the back post. Now PooL. Oh. Beautiful air dribble, not able to finish it off, and that slide touch from Guilty. He's coming in so clutch right now from his team, and that is the thing that we were talking about. He is evolving. We can see that he's starting to play better, and this is just the thing that we wanted to see. We don't want to see one player falling behind, and the fact that Guilty is able to get back into that game just makes me overjoyed.
Yeah, this is a really good evolve from Guilty in this series. No! You know what? Let's just pretend we didn't see that and just keep talking about his clutch moment earlier with that one touch. It is nice to see that he is getting more and more into these games, and they're looking like they're more a team right now instead of a 2-man show.
Right now, Slyex trying to get that ball to the side. We have Seaz there. Sadly enough, not able to take the ball forwards. Guilty does end up missing the ball. Keeps holding that boost while he's mid-air. So, most boost efficient is definitely not the title that we can give to him, but he's definitely stepping up. Right there, that one touch makes it awkward. PooL blocked by Guilty. Now, Moss trying to get that ball over to the other side, but Seaz is there. Tries to take control. Goes high. Able to follow it up himself. Shot into the midfield. Double commit there between Agent and PooL. Definitely doesn't make it easier, as ULB now has to defend once more.
A demo and a bump, creating a lot of space for PooL here. Wow. The entire net was just wide open now. Asian going for a demo on Seaz and a bump on Guilty, making this an open net for PooL. What a really good play by UCLL.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we were talking about that ULB had to use. They had to start using those demos. Make sure the moment, okay, I pushed out my ball. At that point, what can I do? Can I get a bump? Can I get a demo? Can I steal the boost? Those small things, how minuscule they sound, make a lot of difference as PooL is pushed to make an awkward save. Now tries to continue, gets that ball into midfield, but Seaz is there. All the way to the back ball, double commit between A6ent and Moss. Seaz able to get one more touch, Slyex right there. Going to pass it back to Guilty. Guilty into the back ball. Guilty can't get another touch, but he
Seaz maybe.
Oh,
PooL in the
PooL is
1v1.
through.
And again, good defense by Slyex here. As we see Seaz getting an opportunity, maybe Guilty can't really get there. It does look like a really intense game. Both teams playing really, really well. It looks like they're about equal now, but still, they have that lead. UCLL has that 2-0 lead. It might be really hard to actually come back to this, but we still have 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
I mean, Slyex scored more last game in like 1 minute and 15 seconds, so it's definitely still doable. As we have a beautiful first opportunity, pass into midfield, Guilty backward, can't go, has to step up, PooL with a clean all the way to the other side, but Seaz is still there. You know, Slyex passing it back to Seaz. Seaz into midfield, down to Slyex. Slyex on the way to the other side. Guilty selling off a little bit too close. Again, that same thing that we're talking about. If he just is a little bit more to the side to where the ball is going to go to, he has so much of a easier time trying to get that ball into midfield, as UCL is definitely applying the pressure right now.
Yeah, but only 40 seconds left. It needs to happen quick for ULB. They need to find this goal. Because with not a lot of time left, it might get a lot more harder and harder to actually get this goal. And they even need two to at least get this game to overtime. As we see Guilty go up the wall, goes over Moss. Seaz can maybe get a touch on that, but now it's pulled back.
Oh.
This ball is getting cleared by Moss, actually. Seaz, Slyex, my bad, can't connect. Seaz with a really close shot. But PooL taking control now, going for a reset. With 3 seconds left, this game is over, and UCLL gets game 5.
Yeah, but right now it is about that momentum building, like you said. University of Brussels definitely wanted another chance, selling if they don't get it. But if they take this game serious from the start, then they definitely still have a chance to win it. Again, it's 3-2 in favor of UCLL right now, meaning that if University of Brussels wants to win, they need to win 2 games back in back-to-back. It's definitely still doable, but they just have to, again, relax, calm down. What do we want to do? How are we going to control the play? Because that is at the moment the thing that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like ULB, if they feel like, okay, hold on, English. If they can control maybe nerves, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they have nerves now. But it is game 6. They are basically on a match point, UCLL. So it needs to happen from ULB. They can't drop anything right now. It's basically all or nothing. And maybe they can step it up back like in game 4, get a really high score game. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But it does look like UCLL has the upper hand right now.
Might have the upper hand at the moment because they had that 1 game advantage, but it is not over. ULB is definitely going to fight back, as we now see Seaz gets a beautiful double. Guilty in the end, able to get that ball to the front, as we say, A6ent and Moss same side. Now Slyex all the way up. PooL not able to continue it, as we have Seaz, beautiful shot, and that is the first goal for University of Brussels. They take the momentum, which is pretty important.
After only 22 seconds, this is a really big lead to start off the game. It helps them a lot right now. They've got the momentum back after not scoring last game. Even after not getting that last chance at 0 seconds, they do redeem themselves instantly right now, and it must feel really good.
It definitely does feel really good, as we now see Slyex trying to get another opportunities. Everyone on the same side from University of Brussels definitely doesn't make it easier, but now we have Guilty trying to get a double tap. Doesn't get it. Now Seaz all the way to the other side. Slyex able to continue into the midfield. Pretty deep, making it hard for UCLL to get an opportunity. Double demo there. Doesn't make it easier, as it's now Slyex up in the air. Tries to pass it down to Guilty. In the end, it is A6ent that is able to block it off. Seaz is to the side. Guilty now, full touch.
Moss.
Not opportunity, but saved by PooL.
That is a really unfortunate save by PooL there. I don't know if he tried to flip away as fast as possible to get out of the way. But I feel like if he just hit the brakes or flipped backwards, it might have gone in. As we now see a chance on the other side, and Slyex can actually get the 2-0 lead instead of a 1-1 tied up game. A6ent actually whiffing this clear, and Slyex being there after a clear by Moss.
And this is a beautiful follow-through from Slyex right there. That's something that we have to give University of Brussels credit for. Every time that they have one shot and they know that their second is still waiting to see where that shot is going to go, they are ready. They're able to bounce immediately, and that's what they did. Also what they did in that 5-0 game. So definitely something that they have to keep using, have to just flow into, as we now see another opportunity. Seaz trying to get a shot on target.
Oh my god. What a shot by Seaz. Perfectly placed in the top corner. Basically unsavable for PooL here. This is a crazy shot. PooL is actually really close though. But what a shot by Seaz.
Yeah, it could have literally been a pinch out. So that is something that is pretty
Oh,
unfortunate. Hey, here they go. Slyex gets another opportunity. A6ent not able to clear that ball all too far now. Gets the double into midfield again. This is very dangerous that we see Moss in the end able to just get one touch. But now it is Slyex. Puts that ball high. This is dangerous because PooL is lurking. Gets that ball up.
A6ent.
Double commit from A6ent. And Moss once again. UCL trying to push too hard. Definitely in the moment that they don't need to. So right now it is up to them. Ball wide. Moss continuation. Seaz on the back ball. Doesn't have the boost as Slyex.
A6ent.
With the 50. It is just so close right now, Zazzles. And UCL just have to calm down, spread themselves out, and follow through on the balls that they know that they can get a solid touch on.
Yeah, because it looks like ULB is whiffing a lot in defense. They should be able to capitalize on that. As we see some double commits on the side of UCLL as well. But I feel like the defense isn't the greatest by both teams actually. But it must be doable for UCLL to actually capitalize on mistakes in defense happening by ULB.
Well, right now they're still in control. They're still trying to get some offensive pressure. But Slyex as last man realizes they can't push this one on PooL. He even gets an awkward save, but is able still to do so. Now Moss slows it down. That is what they need. They need control. They need to make it awkward from ULB. But beautiful 1-2-1 pass. Slyex now tries to get somewhat of a fake touch into a touch in the end. But now it is Seaz. Beautiful block. A6ent awkward. Still able to get it to the side. Now has to continue it himself. Nice. They need to take that time. They need to get that control. And definitely those corner plays is the moments that they need it the most.
True. It is still a lot of time left in this game. It is still very doable for UCLL. But as well with taking time in defense, it does control the play, but it also kind of chips off like maybe 1 or 2 seconds off that clock and gives UCLL a little more pressure on scoring as fast as possible, which might bring up some nerves, which might really help ULB here. As we see Guilty in a 1v1 by PooL actually clears it pretty well. The Slyex can go up for this, drops the ball down, but A6ent is there to clear it and clear it again.
Oh, here we have a very tight rotation cycle between Seaz and Slyex. I really was thinking that they were going to bump each other there. But that is like that one factor between ULB that is just putting them apart from UCLL right now. Both teams are going near side rotation, but I feel like ULB, definitely that duo again, like I said in the beginning before the games even start, Slyex and Seaz is able to feel where the other one is going to be, that they can rotate so tightly around each other they barely ever bump each other.
Yeah, that is true. Seaz and Slyex are kind of like the two main players on this roster, as Guilty works more like a backbone or like a third-man player. And the rotation by Seaz and Slyex is actually insane. If you look at how well they can actually find each other, not only by pass, as I say that they double commit, but it does really work. And the tight rotation shouldn't really work for most teams. It might be harder, it might be pretty difficult not to double commit, but it does work out for them as they actually take game 6 and we go to a game 7.
Well, game 7, you know what that means, Duzzles. It is Champions Field, but first and foremost, before that happens, we of course do need to talk about statistics of this game. It is pretty important to see what happens here, because the entire story is just told immediately if you look at the amount of shots. 4 shots from the side from UCLL, 10 shots from the side from ULB. 3 of those shots go in, 2 of them are assisted, and that is the main thing that I want to focus on. The 2 passes from the side from ULB is just the thing that is setting them apart right now. Guilty, getting a little bit more into that background again. I feel like he should just be allowed. Like, again, the guy is not playing inconsistent. I feel like it is just going a little bit too quick between Seaz and Slyex, not allowing Guilty. But if this is the way that they're going to be able to win it, I don't think Guilty wouldn't mind at all. But from the side from UCLL, the main thing that they have to step up is PooL rotating further back, because I feel like Moss and Agent are just stuck in defense the entire time. And they just really need to be working with all 3 players together instead of like a 1 man in front and 2 people in the back sort of rotation.
Yeah, for sure. And as we can see, this game was kind of the same as we saw in game 4, was it? They didn't get 5 goals. They got 3 this time. But as we saw, the game after that, UCLL bounced back and found a win. So maybe they can do this again, although the pressure is higher here because, you know, it's of course the last game of the series, the deciding game.
Sadly enough, not a Champions Field though.
It is Champions Field.
But is this Champions Field?
This is hello. Welcome to Rocket. How long have you been playing this game, my dude? Well, it is Champions Field, my guy.
I think the better question is, how long have I been casting the game for?
How long have you been casting the game? How long have you been casting this game for?
I think for almost like 2.5 years to 3 almost. So yeah. Should say enough. But hey, anyway, it is what it is. Because this game is more important than my career right now. It is all to play for. Like 1 game to settle on that €100 difference. As we see now, Guilty gets it in the back ball. Guilty gets an opportunity, blocked away by PooL. PooL not able to follow, but Agent able to play it to the side. Slyex is there, gets the ball to the ceiling. Now Agent does not get the continuation touch that he needs, as it is Guilty able to get that ball into midfield. Oh, the fake almost worked. If that fake went through, I would have screamed Zazzles.
You would scream for anything at this point in a game 7. Anything that happens is really important, as it is the game decider, the series decider. My bad. And it looks like both teams have about the same amount of control. Maybe ULB has a little more offensive pressure. Oh, what a save by PooL there. Moss can get the other clear, and Guilty can try to get this ball middle, but it's saved by Agent. He can try to go on, gets a 50. Slyex with a nice flake past the defender, and a really nice goal.
This is just incredible. Like, that flick right there is just beautiful. We saw Moss was somewhat positioned well at the beginning, then for some reason started turning around. Those small mistakes right now is going to make or break it for the side from UCLL. As we now see Agent going up, gets to the backcourt. Ball right there.
What?
No, the crossbars.
No way, Moss can get it. What?
Yeah, it was taken away from ULB as well many times by the crossbar, so it only fits it right for UCLL to be taken it away by the crossbar.
True, but what a shot by PooL. I think he actually ground pinched that full on into the crossbar, which is really unfortunate. But I guess those things just happen. It happens a lot in Rocket League, actually. You just hit the ball in the crossbar, just barely getting that ball past. But okay, that goal came out of nowhere. I didn't feel like PooL was ever going to get past Guilty here, but he beats him by a long shot, actually. And a really nice goal by PooL. That caught me off guard.
Yeah, that was definitely something that we weren't expecting. And yeah, right there, again, Guilty a little bit too late to try and reach to that ball. Then defense not in the right position. It is all those minor mistakes that we said that are just going to make or break it for both teams right now. As we now assist, trying to keep it tight. Slyex able to get one touch, able to follow through, gets it past Moss. PooL as last defender, does not really get it forward. As we now see Slyex blocked by PooL once again. As Agent gets the ball to the side, Seaz misreads the entire play, tries to push it off Agent. Agent gets a flick, but Slyex plays it to the side as PooL is just taking that ball forwards. ULB is not really getting that ball to the side from UCLL in those midfield cuts, and that is really making it hard for them to apply and keep applying that pressure.
That is true. As we see PooL now going again, going for that pressure. Moss with a shot goes backboard. Is there anyone to follow that up? There is not. But yeah, UCL really hunting now, really looking for that second goal to get a 1-up on ULB. but it's not really working out for them. The defense keeps keeps standing, keeps it strong, and gets the clear every time.
Right there, beautiful pinch though. Slyex trying to follow it up, gets the ball to midfield. Seaz is still waiting there. Shot. Oh!
On the post.
No! Oh, Guilty. This is it. This is your moment, dude. And it's blocked by Moss. Sadly enough, he couldn't get the touch that he needs. Isn't now Seaz trying to get that ball to the side. Beautiful block right there. Oh, ball potentially getting to midfield, but now that 1-2 a little bit too see-through. As you saw, the agent was already right there, knew what was going to happen. As it is Guilty trying to get that ball forwards, does not get the touch that he needs. Slyex to the side, 1 more minute to go, and the pressure is all on right now, Seaz.
Oh, Paul with a nice flick and a fake, and then a flick over the defender. He now actually has 50 boost. He can go for this, but it's blocked by Slyex. And as I can see in the chat, people are already saying Game 7 OT. I'm pretty sure we could actually get a Game 7 OT, unless Slyex actually peaks here, but it's defended by Moss. Both teams really equal right now, and a Game 7 OT, which is basically make this entire series just perfect to get that 1 goal decider. But I feel like it's already a 1 goal decider. If someone scores now in the last 20 seconds, I feel like the series might be over already.
I mean, a very poor kickoff is the only thing that can make that decision. But now 50 seconds to go. This is all or nothing, like you said. Golden goal territory.
PooL
on the ceiling. Almost flashbacks to Season 9 Squishy. But sadly enough, it isn't it. And now Agent gets that ball to midfield. We go to overtime. How can this happen?
This is scripted. This is scripted. But I guess we got a Game 7 OT. PooL going for a flip reset. Does not get the second hit. And now Guilty has a 1v1 situation. 1v2 with Moss. Can he actually get it past? He gets it past him. He rolls it with a flick over the ground. Kind of pinches it past Moss. And it has happened 12 seconds into OT.
The person that we saw that was in the background
all fucking game. And now it has happened. Guilty with the game deciding, series deciding goal. And what a match. What a series.
Oh, just incredible. Incredible like ending right there. Unfortunate from the side from UCLL, but like this was so close.
This was insanely close.
It could have literally gone anyway.
That is true. It could have gone both ways, especially here in this Game 7. We went to an OT. It happened. The scripted match of a Game 7 OT. But what a series do we have?
Well, it was quite a series. The real question right now is like, it's sad that ULB doesn't get another chance anymore. Of course, the finals will be at the Kinepolis streamed by Meta. I don't really know what Twitch channel. I think it's going to be Esports Prime. Might be completely mistaken. But yeah, that's going to be next week Sunday, right?
Yes. Is it next week? I feel like no. It's the week after it. Next week Sunday is the 1st. It's on the 8th. So
okay.
It's in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, the finals, which would also be a really good series.
I mean, I hope it's a good series. Otherwise, I'll scream at you from the competition.
You will hit me on the back of my head. But I guess this was it for the series. Wow, this was a really good series. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this every single minute of this series.
I mean, again, GG's to University of Brussels. My prediction came true. Did I expect it to be this close? Hell no. There's no other way around it. But I mean, if anything, we also just have to congratulate UCLL with the way they played. They delivered us with such a clean series. Went up 2-0, had to fight back, went up 3-2, and then in the end, weren't able to close it out. It's just pretty sad for them, but they just played amazing. It was literally tap for toe. Both teams really getting close enough to each other, making it close against each other as well, and we couldn't have asked for anything better, like you said already.
Yeah, and this was really nice, and I'm actually happy that we actually got to cast this game. I mean that we actually got to live stream this game, after what happened yesterday. But yeah, this was really nice. I feel like this is nice to have on stream as well. since it is of course a third place tiebreaker, um, won by ULB, and I want to say deserved, but it was really close. It might, we might have to see for next season if they play again, because this was really close, and I feel like it could have gone both ways.
Well, with that said and done, Zazzles, I want to thank you, of course, for casting it alongside me.
Mhm.
At the other end, I want to not thank Lander, because he is too anxious to want to
He's
go watch the ending of The Mole. Because, of
he
course,
needs
TV
to.
programs are more important than Rocket League. But no.
Mm.
Thank you, Lander, for
He
making
has his
everything,
priorities.
including the graphics, including the intro thingies. Everything that you just made yourself is just incredible. It is incredible that we were able to use it. And then, yes, Zazzle, thank you for letting us leech off your Twitch channel.
Thank you for letting me leech off you for more fucking average viewers. uh, yeah, no, this was this was leeching off of everyone at this point. Um, but yeah, I feel like we're about done here, and
Yep.
I,
So
w-
with
I
that
wanna,
said,
I
we
just want
are
to
going
thank
to
everyone,
sign off in high Feria style.
and
Thank you
thank
all
you
for
for watching.
watching, and we'll see you at the next Zazzle stream.